Charles Richardson Show is uncensored and is for adults only. Mature or immature, doesn't matter.
1, 2, 3, Florida opened up they beaches and they gon' be mad when all the cases spike. Say governor really dumb, but he won't take the blame when all the people die. Y'all wanna go back to work just to go get infected, working at Best Buy. To all of you conspiracy people, men and women do, but numbers do not lie. Won't lie. Won't lie. Won't lie. Won't You think you got it, oh, you think you got it, but you just don't gon' get it if you stay at home. You've been together, oh, you've been together, but you ain't got no worry if you chillin' alone. You started coughing, you might have the wrong. You sweating, you sweating, you sweating, you sweating, you sweating. It's like infection. Oh, why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why, oh. Are you so in denial when you know they not testing here? Oh, man. Wrong night. Wrong night. You might have hit your daddy. You might have hit your granny. You might have hit your mama. You might just start some drama. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. Okay, now fellas, yeah. What's cooler than being cool? Not infected. I can't hear you. I said, what's cooler than being cool? Not infected. All right. Now, ladies, yeah. We gotta break this thing down for a second. Now, don't have me break this thing down for nothing. Make sure your man's on his best behavior. And when they make a vaccine, do me a favor. Take it, so we won't get no sicker. Take it, so we won't do all the dishes. And the Becky Sue's. Take it, and Lil Mamas too. Take it, please don't get sick no more. Take it, so we won't know what to do. Please don't get sick no more. You know what to do. Take it, so we won't know what to do.
What's sex without love?
Sex! It's still sex!
Being a man isn't how you dress or how you smell. Being a man isn't even anything you look like, although it does help. No, being a man is what you do with your hands. Your calloused, strong, manly hands. It's what you make with them, because you are a man. Being a man is wiping the sweat from your brow after an honest day's hard work. It's pulling your sleeves up and putting in the hours. It's grabbing a cold beer with your friend Kyle and complimenting him on his nice narration voice. Maybe even wiping the sweat from his brow. Being a man is getting in touch with your feminine side. Buying a horse. maybe naming it after your close friend Kyle, and caring for it. Feeding it with those strong, rugged hands. God, I wish I was that horse. But what a man really is looking at his wife of 10 years in the eye and telling her, Karen, I can't keep up with this facade any longer. Dave is my soulmate manwich, and I just can't live under this roof with you and Kyle Jr. no more with the thoughts going through my head of those rugged hands.
Kyle, we're filming a Ford commercial.
Oh, built Ford tough.
Bullshit.
Yeah. I said you on fire with gas and a lighter. You scream when I say I'll kill you that way. Sydney, my knife in the dark will reach to your heart. I'm Ghostface and I'll kill you that way. When you die, it ain't nothing but a dream stay. When you die, it ain't nothing like a crystal lake. Tell me why it's nothing but a singing. I'll kill you that way. I am Michael Myers, my one piece of tire. When I choke, it's too late. When I kill you that way. When you die, ain't nothing but a dream. When you die, ain't nothing but a dream. Tell me why it's nothing but a singing. I'll kill you that way.
Now that I'm wearing your body parts, miss the way that you used to bleed. Yeah.
Wait, you damn hillbilly. Enough of that backwoods bullshit. Jason, Michael, bring it back, bitch.
No matter the distance, I want you to know that I can guarantee. I say you on fire with gas and a lighter. I say, just wanna kill you. Nothing like a crystal lake, on a crystal lake. Oh yeah, I will kill you that way. Nothing but a dream. When you die, ain't nothing like a crystal lake. Tell me why it's nothing but a sin. I'll kill you that way. When you die.
What's the worst day of the week that gets us all depressed? MONDAYSUCKS. Here comes more aggravation and a brand new week of stress. MONDAYSUCKS. Monday sucks. Monday sucks. Forever will it make you want to cry. Come along and sing your song, now get it off your chest. MONDAYSUCKS.
Live Live from the Raw Talk Studios in Southwest Florida, it's the Charles Richardson Show.
All right, let's see if we can still do this. Hello, everybody. Yeah, this is working. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Good evening. It's Monday. And when we last spoke, it was also Monday in September. Welcome to the Charles Richardson Show. Alive and proud in Port Charlotte, Florida, the home of the eye. When I say eye, we're not talking about 4 eyes.
Oh, it wasn't the eye. It
was
the
the
eye
eye.
wall.
The wall. Well, guess what? It was the home of the eye. We got the damn eye. We didn't get the break in between. We got the eye. We got it. But like most of the area, power's been restored. Internet obviously has been restored. TV as well. There's still some neighborhoods that got the lines.
I know of a lot of people who still don't have internet and cable.
Yeah, but they have power.
But they have power.
Yep.
Some of them just got power back yesterday, though.
Yeah. I will want to say I do want to thank God and that we still have a house, because when we went off the air on Monday, there was still an opportunity for this thing to kind of veer south of us,
Or north.
and we wouldn't have gotten anything close to what we got.
Yeah.
Nothing close. So when I went off the air on Monday, I was half-heartedly saying, yeah, we may be down for a little bit, not realizing that it was going to be almost 2 weeks. So when it finally landed in Florida, and look at your map and look at the track of Ian, take a look at Port Charlotte, Florida. That is where we are located. We got the nasty. It was not nasty. Then we got a little bit of an eye wall, the eye break. No, we got the edge of the eye, which is the
12
nasty.
hours of just battering.
Yes.
Rain and wind, and
it was basically like being put in the ring with the hardest punching person ever, and they would just wail at you for 8 to 10 hours. Just not, they don't get tired. It just kept coming and coming and coming. And I know it sounds nasty, but you know what? That could have been a porn star. But I'm just saying, the hurricane kept blowing.
During
and that's another one.
The whole storm, the only person who was able to get any text messages in or out was my mom.
Which is weird. She was on the same damn network that we were.
Well,
the same company too.
Yeah, I don't know. But she
had the magic.
So she was able to talk to my brother in Orlando, and she kept asking him, how much longer? And every time he said, it's just a couple more hours. And my mom's like, that's what you said an hour ago.
Yeah, right.
And it just kept going and going.
The thing is, so we evacuated our house. We took whatever we had in the fridge, because we went through Irma a few years before. Now, Irma was a landfall
really
further south.
Hit
we didn't really get hit
too
that
bad,
hard.
but we did lose power.
We did lose power for about a week.
Yeah.
Even though we got nothing close to what we got this time. Nothing. I mean, we're talking with Irma, maybe 40-mile-an-hour winds. No damage whatsoever. I mean, nothing close.
No.
Now, we evacuated here on Tuesday morning. We wanted to get the hell out of here Tuesday morning.
I worked on Tuesday. It was Tuesday afternoon.
All right. So when you got out, but you got out at noon. So we split and we took everything we could out of the fridge, because when we got hit by Irma, we lost power. We knew we were going to lose power again. We just didn't know for how long. So, and we just got a brand new fridge. So we didn't want to stink up that fridge. So we got everything out of the fridge and we just mushed it over to Alyssa's parents, who had a Generac generator, a whole home generator. Now, when you hear Generac, you're probably thinking, well, this thing kicks on as soon as the power kicks. No. It's the brand that they bought was One, it's powerful enough to go ahead and power up the air conditioner, the fridge, the freezer. They have other stuff that's in there.
Lights, anything
Lights.
that plugs into the wall.
The only thing that they didn't tell is the pool pump or the hot water heater or the dryer. Everything else, this thing handled. Everything. And this is a 3,800 square foot house. Big, huge house. And this thing was able to handle it. So, needless to say, it takes 15 gallons, and 15 gallons times 350 is, about $60. So, 60, $70. But anyway, so we knew that the fridge was going to be working over there. So we just took our stuff and brought it over there. We took that. We took, a week's worth of clothes. Like we were basically like we were going to go on vacation for Disney for a week. We basically just took that.
Yeah, because we had no plan of coming back here with no power because we don't even have a generator.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, we don't have a generator. I was looking into one to see how much it would cost.
They're expensive.
It's not as expensive as you may think. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, anyway.
But so we were taking a look at it, and our concern was our roof, because our roof is like 18 years old, and down here in Florida, I think the roof expectancy for insurance reasons is 15 and under. After you get to that 15 point, you're like, okay, you're expired. You need to get a new roof.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why we don't have solar. That and because it's an ass load of money. So we went ahead and evacuated out here Tuesday afternoon, right around noon, 1 o'clock. We got out of here, and we were there. Obviously, we had internet and power for most of the day and all of the night, and then Wednesday came, and that's when the shit hit the fan.
Literally.
Yeah. About 11 o'clock in the morning, 12 noon, somewhere around that time, we lost power.
I think it was around 12 or 12:30 we lost power.
Yeah. Somewhere around that time, we lost power. A couple of hours later, we started noticing the wind starting to pick up. Now, again, landfall didn't really occur until about 3-4 o'clock. We saw the radar images because that's all they were broadcasting on the news was, here's the storm. Here's the latest advisory every hour. Here's the radar.
And then we were only able to get that until the power went off.
Exactly. So when the power went off, it was still, again, a good hour, a couple of hours away from making landfall. And landfall,
but we were still getting
pretty. We were getting some winds. We weren't getting that much.
No,
we were getting the outer bands.
But...
We were getting the outer bands. We were getting rain. We got a little couple of gusts of wind. But when it came 3 to 4 o'clock, we started getting, we're not talking about just gusts. We're talking about sustained 100 to 130 mile an hour winds with gusts. I believe they clocked it at 141. We clocked that with a gust. Now, obviously, it said 155 mile an hour winds were sustained in the eye wall. Well, obviously, it hit an island before it hit the mainland. So it kind of went off a little bit. Everything okay?
I think he's not.
Okay. I'm going to check on our son. But so about 3 o'clock, that's when everything's just deteriorated beyond all reason. Between 3 o'clock in the afternoon to about 11 o'clock, we're talking 8 hours. This was not a fast-moving storm at all. As a matter of fact, when it hit land, it slowed down. It was already moving slow, like between 10 and 11 miles an hour anyway. It slowed down to like 6. So the winds that we were supposed to maybe get 2-3 hours worth, 4 hours maybe, turned out to be 8 hours. And it's like, it was bad. So we started at each hour, me and Alyssa were looking at each other like, do we even have a house to go to? This is bad. This isn't what we thought it was going to be. We thought, we'd get some rain and some wind, but we're talking about a consistent. And I took some video because the cool thing about it on the shutters that her parents had, is that they were see-through. You could see outside.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of like, mirrory, but you could kind of still see what's going. You got the picture. All I saw, and just imagine watching a cartoon and like the Roadrunner just flashing by you, and he leaves a tail. I saw that tail with the wind and rain, and it was just not. It was like literally blowing right by. Just
Well, we watched Charlie take half an oak tree. You know those oak trees in my mom and dad's old backyard.
Yes.
Half of it just gone.
Yeah. And we were doing some comparison. Alyssa was looking at her phone. It's like she was looking at the comparison between Hurricane Andrew, which hit down in Miami. That was a Cat 5, 170, 180 mile an hour winds. And took a look at comparison between Charlie and Ian. Both these hurricanes made landfall here.
Yeah,
Here.
Charlie and Ian made landfall
Both
here.
made landfall here. Both Port Charlotte. These are hurricanes that made landfall in Port Charlotte. Charlie was the size of a freaking dime compared to Ian.
Well, the one that I had just seen today was a paper plate was Ian. A regular cupcake wrapper was Andrew. And then one of those mini cupcake wrappers was Charlie.
Yeah.
But it was the one thing that I had seen was, they're saying, oh, well, the saying lightning never strikes twice. And it shows the path of Ian and the path of Charlie, and they intersect right in Charlotte County.
Yeah. Just to, and this is a something similar to what you had seen. This shows the wind field, and this is what it was. So you see over here, Charlie to the left, Ian to the right. Basically, Ian is more than double the size of Charlie. Now, this is called, this is based on tropical storm force wind field, but you could see it was huge. They noticed again, Ian was larger, almost double the size.
And it was slow.
Ian moved slower, 8 to 9 miles an hour right there. It was, and basically Charlie moved 20 to 25 miles an hour. It was done in no time.
Yeah.
But 8 to 9 miles an hour, we were sitting there just completely waiting for this thing to leave. We didn't want to have any more.
We were here for Charlie, and Charlie, we could hear it. Yeah, I was there. My family was there. We could hear, and there was a lot going on. And like I said, we watched half of our oak tree just go flying down the road.
Right.
But it wasn't like this. It wasn't just ongoing. Charlie, I think we lost power somewhere in the afternoon, probably around the same time that we lost power with Ian. Right around noon, 1 o'clock, something like that. And by dinner time, we were waiting down the street to my aunt and uncle's house to go cook dinner on the grill because
you didn't have it.
We didn't have a generator or anything at that time.
Right.
So, but that's how quick Charlie was.
Yeah. And Charlie was half the size.
Midnight, we still had high winds and rain going on.
Yeah, there was tropical storm,
it
almost
wasn't
hurricane strength
as
wind.
bad. It died down probably about 9 o'clock, but
yeah, we were still getting the winds, the rains, but basically we weren't getting that violent 140, 50 mile an hour winds at 9 p.m., 10 p.m., but it was from 3 to 9, 3 to 10 was just 100 plus mile an hour winds, just battering the house, battering the trees, battering everything.
You heard things hitting the house.
Yep.
I heard glass breaking, which was Charles's windshield.
You heard that?
I'm pretty sure it was probably that.
Damn.
But
Yeah.
because that was when I was in that office
Oh, okay.
by
okay.
the window, and
Yep.
that's kind of near the front of the house.
Right, right.
To where I might have. That might have been
But
what
you
I
still-
heard.
but you
Because I
still had
heard
the-
glass breaking a couple of times.
Well, mine's definitely one. Mine was definitely a tree that fell on my hood.
Yeah.
So I know that mine was definitely that. So mine was I wouldn't say shattered. It withstood the blast. I mean, nothing got in, but there was
Well,
definitely
it was
a
shattered.
huge.
You couldn't drive
Yeah,
the
obviously
car.
I couldn't drive it, but up until today they finally went ahead and replaced my windshield. But no, so that's like that was damage. I mean, there was trees everywhere, and some of the photos that I took showed flooding on the street. It was flooding almost everywhere.
Well, and I was talking to the girls at work about when we finally did venture out to go see our house, and
Yep.
I said we almost didn't make it because of the flooding there at the end of the road.
Right. Yeah, because even
that
at the
corner of Hillsborough and Toledo Blade was completely underwater.
Yeah. And there was a lot of flooding afterwards, which we'll get into a little bit later. But there's a few rivers that were right by, and those rivers all not only were in major flood stage, double major
and they
flood
had
stage.
Some dams that broke, and
they even had part of the interstate. The interstate. This is not New Orleans. Part of the interstate was flooded.
Yeah, they had to close down part of 75.
It was just
flooded.
It was just crazy when we ventured out, which is about a couple of days later. Obviously,
No, it was the next day.
It was next day, okay.
But it was later in the day.
But we also went on 41, which is the highway, which that was the first thing that they clear off.
Yeah.
Which they did a pretty good job. I think there's still some branches that were laying around or that haven't been swept up. But no, I mean, some of the stoplights gone. They didn't just like not work. No, they weren't there anymore.
Yeah.
We saw a few gas stations. Their awnings collapsed. The awnings over the gas pumps
yeah.
gone, collapsed, destroyed. I mean, it was really a real eye opener. Trees that were deformed because of the wind.
Completely uprooted.
Yeah, we saw big friggin' trees just uproot, like it screw digging. They just took it right out of Ian just
There
took
was
everything out.
a couple of places too where we were driving and we see a roof in somebody's yard, but it's not their roof.
Right, we saw that.
Because their roof was intact, but this roof was laying in their yard, which means it came from, 2 houses down or something like that.
We saw a bunch of fences blown away.
Oh yeah, those fences.
Their fences just
all,
sucked.
All of those white vinyl fences gone.
Yeah, gone.
Completely.
Wood fences too.
Yeah.
Wood fences didn't stand a chance either. Our shed, which is basically aluminum siding with a frame, blown out. It was taken out. And that was the same way with a lot of people's sheds. A lot of people's sheds were either toppled or, they were destroyed. It was like a tornado hit it, but it was just the hurricane because that's how strong the winds were.
Well, the way that our shed is, though, it's really weird the way it blew out because it's like through both sides, but the front and back are still intact and the door's blown off.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. Luckily, again, roof stayed. There was some shingles that blew off, but they were like the corner shingles. Anything major that we had to put a tarp over. We did report it to the insurance company, though. A couple of screens got damaged, but again, no structural damage to our home. Everything's sound. I mean, we're in it, for crying out loud. We got power. Didn't flood. So we were very
That was
grateful.
something I kind of worried a little bit about too, because that street over there floods.
I'm not worried about it flooding. You see how high we are?
We are pretty high.
We're pretty good. I mean, maybe water may have reached maybe higher than normal, but I don't think it would have reached
I
the
also
house.
worried about it breaching the garage door.
No. Well, the wind.
I mean, the wind.
Yeah. We kind of thought that too. It's like apparently
But
the rule of thumb.
hurricane door.
Apparently the rule of thumb is if it destroys if the garage door blows out, your roof is gone. That's the rule, I guess.
Well, because then the wind can get up under there. And when it has a big space like that to get up under, it can lift your roof.
Gotcha. Yeah. So we're just grateful that we're just grateful that we had a home to go to. There was a point in time when finally everything was over. Alyssa was kind of emotional. She got teary-eyed, and it's like, was worried about what we were going to see. And we're just grateful that we did go ahead and drive by. We videoed it.
Yeah.
We videoed it.
I breathed a huge sigh of relief when I saw the house was still standing and still had a roof.
Yeah. Actually, if you wouldn't mind patching me that video, we'll probably play it the second hour. But
I had several videos, so I got to
several?
figure out which one.
Send them all over.
All right.
We'll go through them, because there's a lot of footage there, and this is like firsthand footage. This is not like this is all stuff from the news. No, this is stuff that we filmed. This is stuff that Alyssa actually filmed. I was actually driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those things like, oh man,
well,
I want to experience the eye of a storm. I want to experience. No, not anymore.
Well,
not anymore.
And my mom wasn't able to get a hold of my grandparents right after the storm.
Yeah.
And so she was worried about them.
And they live further than the coast too, along the coast.
So we drove over to their house after we had checked on ours.
They were obviously okay because they actually passed us.
Yeah, they passed us like right down the road from their house. So we're like, all right, well, they're fine.
All right, they're good. Yeah, and we went over there, and their generator was running. So
yeah,
see,
and
everybody has a generator but us. We need a generator.
Well, everybody who went through Charlie already has a generator.
You went through Charlie, so what's your excuse? Gotta get it. We gotta get it. Like I said, we'll talk about it, because it's not as expensive. Yes, it is. It is an investment, but it's not as expensive as you may think. That's all I can say on that. So,
but we also went to go check up on my best friend from high school. Her house is completely totaled, pretty much.
It wasn't totaled. It was still standing.
Well, it was still standing, but
it's not livable. It was flooded.
Yeah, there was water all inside, although the doors were messed up.
Yeah.
And
there was repairs. Let's put it that way.
A lot of
repairs. Yeah. But it was I mean, not to put too much on it, but it was an experience that
we don't want to go through experience it again.
Yeah. We don't want to go through it again.
I said that after Charlie, that I didn't want to experience it again, but this was worse.
A lot of places were way worse than us, believe it or not. Sanibel Island, which is an island not too far south of here, or to the west of Sanibel Island, there is one way to get on and off. That's it, one way, and it was destroyed. Yep. So people in Sanibel had to be rescued by boats. They did not allow any public boats. Everything had to be gone through by EMS or those type of boats.
Also, a lot of Northport flooded to the point where they were having to take boats to get people from their houses.
Northport's just the town right above us.
Right. Well, where we were staying at my mom and dad's house, we're right on the line between Northport and Port Charlotte.
Yeah, but lucky enough, they weren't by that river, because it was three rivers that crested.
They're not too far from the one. That's why we had trouble getting out of there.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it was runoff. Like Hillsborough and Toledo Blade, which is the corner, the main corner, that was flooded, but passable, which we didn't barely. I'm over here thinking, come on, go. Cars are in front of us.
My little tiny blue car.
Your little tiny blue car had a higher give than mine did. So good for your car. Like, we ain't taking mine. Even if my mine was drivable, I ain't taking mine. Forget it. But trees were down everywhere, like to the point of blocking intersections. Of course, power lines were down.
Well, and that's the thing, where my parents live, there's quite a few different ways to get out of their neighborhood. And
not anymore.
Well, in general, there's quite a few different ways to get out of their neighborhood to get to like the main part of town.
Yep.
And every single one of them was blocked by a tree, a down power line that was hanging too low for you to, it wasn't all the way to the ground, but it was low to where you couldn't drive past it. There was, just there
Everything was
flooding
blocked.
down one road.
Yep.
I mean,
flooding down a couple
there
of
was
roads actually.
only one way that you could really get out of the neighborhood.
And that was even flooded.
Yeah. And then later on, I did get through a different way, but that was kind of rocky because there was a lot of debris in the road on that road.
Yeah. So it was just a lot of things going on. We had to take our dogs in, which we had to keep them caged up because there was big dogs there that her parents had. So we had to keep that up there. Sleeping environment was not at all comfortable at all. We lost a lot of sleep. And the cleanup.
Well, you
was
should
just,
have been comfortable.
I
You had a
wasn't.
bed.
Yeah, but still, I wasn't comfortable. I was in 76-degree weather or heat. I'm used to having that ice cold air breathing down my neck, and I didn't have that. I didn't have that at all. So yes, I had a bed, but you kind of did too. It was a different type of bed. You had two recliners that you pulled out, and it kind of made a bed.
It was a couch that had two recliners on it, so I pulled them out, both of them out, so that I could have.
I'm saying, and you said
bed.
And you say you were able to have enough space. And Stefan had to go ahead and sleep in his old mattress that he had for inside the crib. He's still small enough to fit in that mattress. So I will tell you this though, the gas situation was unbelievable. It was horrible to get gas around
First
here.
couple of days, especially.
I think still first week. I still think there's still some lines out there, really.
But it's not as bad.
It's not as
it
bad.
was.
Everything. So obviously there was a few gas stations that had power, cash only. When they say, and I didn't believe this because I thought we were in a generation that we're able to adjust and adapt and get things right. No. When they say take cash out,
they mean it.
Take cash out. There was a lot of places open. There was places that were open, but no card. They weren't allowing cards.
But they did pretty quickly get to where they can take cards.
It was a few days later where we started seeing the shopping centers open up. The Publix, the Walmarts, and everything like that. And those places did accept cards. I never thought I'd see the day where there would be a line to get in to Walmart.
Well, we saw it during COVID.
But this is different.
Yeah.
So a line to get into Walmart. Now, the reason for that was because of staffing shortages, and they were running on generators. Still able to process credit cards, but staffing shortages made it to the point where they were limiting. It's back to normal now, but like a week after the hurricane, it was get in line, we'll get you in.
Oh, when I went to pick up Stefan's prescription, I waited a long time that day.
Yeah. And the cool thing about it is when you do have a natural disaster, obviously FEMA's right there, unless you're in New Orleans, but FEMA was right there, and they set up, they got the National Guard down here. And what was pretty cool is they set up like areas where you can pick up supplies. Mm-hmm. So they had the spring training field that the Tampa Bay Rays have down here in Port Charlotte opened up, and I went through that stadium. That stadium was crashed. It was a lot of damage there.
Well,
but
they took a lot of damage with Charlie too.
But going through there, very quick, very efficient. Got my two cases of water. Went ahead and got some military ready-to-eat meals and a tarp. We haven't tried those ready-to-eat meals, though. We still got them.
No, we haven't tried those yet.
I think we need to do that. I think we need to I'm not in the mood to cook. All right, ready-to-eat meals. We need to go military style now.
Well, and I was reading you can heat them up. Actually, you can eat them cold or you can heat them up.
Yeah. So I'm actually listen. I was just you know what? That would be for your lunch day. Just take them. Take them cold. Just eat those cold. You don't have to take a Lunchable anymore. Just eat those cold. So, But yeah, it was kind of cool that they had that. Is a lot of food trucks,
Yeah.
and that still holds true now. A lot of food trucks actually lined up in parking lots offering free food. No, we're not talking about here's food and just cash. No, free.
And it was like good stuff.
Yes, like there's a Cuban truck. There was an egg roll truck.
The egg roll one looked really good.
It did, and
we didn't go though.
I
mean, they also had like a gymnastics place that had open gym one of the days, and they were serving food too, so you could get free food and let the kids run around and run off some steam since they don't have school.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
It was really cool to see, like, but also the food trucks, they had long lines.
Yeah.
Everybody knew about it. It's like we're just taking the
and there was a McDonald's that had a semi that they had converted into a food truck that was serving free McDonald's.
Yeah, I saw that. The
there was also
they renamed it.
Yeah.
Like the McRig.
Yeah, I think that's what it was called, the McRig.
The McRig, I love it.
And then there was a Denny's one that came into Fort Myers that was serving food for first responders.
Yep. And they actually adjusted the hours too at Publix and Walmart. I think the first hour 6 to 7 is for first responders. So
yeah,
we gotta thank them. Everything. Listen, I got to give a huge shout out to FPL, which is our power service over here. Listen, again, a week for Hurricane Irma that came through where we barely got anything, and about the same time frame out of this massive hurricane that we got, it was just twice, 3 times as worse.
You got to think about this too. When Charlie came through here, 3 weeks, most people were without power.
Yeah, they kicked it on the high gear on this one.
And
they really did.
Even water too. A lot of people were without water after Charlie. I know we didn't have running water after Charlie, but we had water pretty much right away.
There was even a furniture store giving free furniture out. Obviously, it was damaged, but it was still usable. So they were actually going ahead and giving free furniture out, which is kind of cool. John making a comment there. Most Mondays do suck, but this Monday is awesome. The Charles Richardson Show is back. Thank you. Matty Rock over there in Newport Richie. Hey there, he says he was one of the ones that was supposed to be affected by this storm up there in Newport Richie, which is north of Tampa. They were the ones that were really keeping an eye on it until, it's going south. Let's watch them struggle.
It went the path of Charlie. We've decided that any storm that they say is going to Tampa is just coming here.
Right.
So
it's predetermined
we're just
already.
Going to prepare for it.
Yep. John says, luckily to be alive. Over 100 people actually got killed in this storm. So, and that's just in Florida. Now, it did make a landfall in South Carolina, but that was only a minor Category 1 hurricane. So, I'm sorry. The big news story is down here when it hit. Schools also not opening until next week. They're still assessing damage. They're still trying to get power, trying to go ahead and clean up everything, make sure everything is secure when they go ahead and run the school buses and everything. Some stores are not open still. Some restaurants are not open still. There's restaurants that are still running on what they call limited menu and only taking cash. I think most of that has been upgraded now, so that I think everybody pretty much is back on board. FPL, again, the power some companies said they wanted to get 95% of their customers back online over the weekend. I think they went ahead and completed that goal. So there is still clusters out there that are without power, clusters out there without internet. Actually, I was out there at your parents' house waiting for the car the guy at Safe Light to go ahead and replace my windshield. This guy that pulled up into your dad's driveway and
asking about Comcast?
Do you work for Xfinity? I'm like, well, I don't work out in the field. I just work in the call center. Do you have any idea why they haven't restored? I think, what the hell? Call them. I'm off.
It was funny because when I was at work today, one of the girls was like, yeah, we still don't have cable or internet. And I said, "Oh, well, mine was back on when I got my power back
Yeah.
on."
Why did you
And-
say that?
Well, no. And then
Now we're at Target.
she goes, "Oh, do you have Xfinity or do you have something else?" I said, "No, I have Xfinity. My husband works for them." And she goes, "Really? Does he know anything about when they're going to turn it back? When they're going to get it back up?"
No.
I said, "No, because he works for the call center, so he really has no."
No, you gotta stop
Knowledge
that.
of that.
You don't let that type of information out there that I work for the company. Don't stop. Just stop and think. Stop and think what can of worms
no,
you're opening up.
She didn't go any further than that.
You don't
Once
know.
I
She
told-
could have.
Once I told her that you didn't have any information on that, she's like, "Oh, okay."
Doesn't matter though. You opened up that can of worms. That could have been bad for you and me too.
Well, why would it have been bad? I mean, what
They're
is she
gonna
gonna
come
do?
over. They're gonna come over with their torches and pitchforks and demand information on when they're gonna get
I
cable and
need
internet back.
internet.
Yes. Grab your
Well-
torches and pitchforks.
You know, my job is we use a lot of internet, and we had none today. So that was fun. You know, the data that we take is all done online. Our scheduling is all online.
There's a lot of jobs that are suffering right now
Yeah.
because of no online
Yeah.
or no internet. We had people, because I follow a bunch of different groups on Facebook. You know, they're all local, and it's like, you know, is there anywhere that I can go for internet? I'm losing work right now. I need internet. I need to do something. And a lot of people, it's
all
not
of these people with work from home jobs
Yeah.
now after COVID
it's and
are
it's
screwed because they have no internet.
it's also it was also to the point where internet is not a luxury anymore. It is a necessity.
Yeah.
It's not a luxury. So people go ahead and say, well, you're paying just to go ahead and have internet for entertainment value. No. You probably are relying on that for work. You're relying on that for, you know, for your financial well-being. So, and I can understand when I go ahead and take calls because I took today off because I had to go ahead and wait for the car to be fixed. Plus, I was also, you know, watching Stefan. But anyway, but it's to the point where, you know, people, you know, we got to get everything back up and running. And understandably, most people are, you know, they realize, hey, we just got hit with a massive hurricane. And we're not talking about getting hit with outer bands. No, we got hit with the eye. We got hit direct. It was a direct hit from a category 4/5 hurricane. There's going to be instances where some of the grid needs to be rebuilt. Some of the power lines are just, they need a new pole, and that's going to take a little bit longer, even though I've seen trucks out there, group 10, 15 in a bunch, just going out there and just kicking ass. So they're doing what they can. They're doing what they can to the best of their ability to go ahead and restore power to you guys, to go ahead and restore internet and cable.
I did
You got to do it.
When I was coming down Peachland today, I did see a couple of FPL trucks still out.
Yeah, they're still working out there. It's not over yet.
Yeah.
Yes, most of the customers, yes, we're living and breathing, and we're sucking up all the energy here. We got our AC, we got our lights, we got our internet, we got our TV. We're living fine, but there's still people running their generators. There's still people out there that are in the dark, that you know, they evacuated and they want to know, hey, is my service back on and before I come back home? That was the other thing too. With Irma, when I experienced it, there was no issues with data, no issues with Wi-Fi, or at least you know, to get connected to the internet because of data. Ian fucked up Verizon towers and AT&T towers. For some reason, I keep hearing T-Mobile didn't lose a beat.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what they got going on over there, T-Mobile, but apparently they got some awesome shit going on. That magenta, that magenta just that was Ian proof.
I guess.
I guess, you know, but it's kind of weird. But it was just horrible service, horrible signal.
Well, it was really bad because at least for me, I was getting maybe a text here, text there. It was very rare. And then all of the sudden, I would get like 20 texts in like a minute.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, open the floodgates.
It's like that 1 minute you are on hold waiting,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, okay, it's your turn.
And
You
then,
get all those text
and then I
messages.
wouldn't get another text message for 2 days.
Yeah, well,
And then
I think it was a little bit. It got better like the a week later,
yeah,
where we were finally able to
and once
send
we
and
came
receive.
home and had the Wi-Fi too, because our phones are able to piggyback off our Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I think most of them are.
So that helped with the signal too.
Yep.
But like today, I tried to use my mobile hotspot at work, and I couldn't even get it up.
Yeah, that cell signal over there in Northport, Port Charlotte, that border area, that is kind of shady. It's still shady. Verizon did come out that said that some of the fiber wires that connect the towers were damaged, so they're working to restore that. But they have a drone in place where they're servicing people now. It's like, and they're saying that drone can last up to 1,000 hours in the air. So it's like, oh, okay, whatever, just
interesting.
Go for it. But I didn't see any. It wasn't much better. I mean, I was getting 5G, 2 and 3 bars and everything like that.
It was showing 5G when I was at work today, but I couldn't connect on the hotspot.
Yeah. Oh, John was posting. He saw 25 power trucks at my work fueling up, and that Thursday before the storm heading to Florida. So over there in Connecticut, they were fueling up heading to Florida. Oh yeah. We're pulling all the reserves. We're pulling all the stops. Listen, when we go ahead and see a storm of this caliber go ahead and intensify the way it did, we knew it was going to be huge. We knew this storm was going to be huge. We just didn't know where it was going to hit. And it turns out the place where it made landfall was not the only place that was affected. Naples and Fort Myers, that's further south, it was not wind. It was flooding. They got 12 to 15-foot storm surge that invaded the coastline. It was just horrible.
I mean, they
there.
had wind as well, but
they had some wind. They didn't get
they
the
weren't
wind we
battered
got.
like we were with the wind. Yeah.
No, we got the wind, and we got the rivers to be backed up because of all the rain and flood. Again, when that storm is moving that slow with that size, there's such a wide range of that storm where there is going to be rain everywhere that storm touches. We're not talking about wind. Screw the winds now. We're talking about rain, torrential rain that's filling up the rivers. There's 3 rivers there that crested, went 2 times above major flood
it
stage.
also hit at high tide.
Well, even when it went to low tide, it still was at major flood stage, 2 times.
But
major
I'm
flood
just
stage.
saying, when that storm surge was coming in, it was at high tide already.
Yeah.
So you're adding that to.
Yeah.
Surge.
Obviously, yeah. But anyway, it showed there the Ian landfall and the Hurricane Charlie landfall, and it was just it's almost on point, pinpoint exact. Yeah. It's almost pinpoint exact on the landfall.
Charlie really messed up Punta Gorda and down 41 and all of that area.
Yeah, they did.
Right. This was more just widespread across.
Charlie caused $24.6 billion in damage. I'm assuming Ian's going to intense. It is going to be so much more than that. So, yeah,
this affected such a wide area.
It did. It really did.
Because from Naples to probably Venice, they're getting.
Well, they were saying that even. Well, yeah, that was the brunt. They're saying even like St. Petersburg, Tampa, they were getting major tropical storm force.
Yeah, and they did have some power outages and stuff in the Tampa area. I do know. I mean, it wasn't anything nearly as bad as what we have, but they did have some power outages and things of that nature, and they were out for a couple of days, I think.
Yep. But both of these storms just took a direct hit right here. It's like there's a magnet here somewhere of hurricanes. We got to get the hell out of here.
And that was funny. In the middle of the storm, we're talking about Charlie, and our son goes, "Who's Charlie?"
While the storm's track was shaping up to be slimmer, experts noted how Ian dwarfed Charlie by 3 a.m. Wednesday. The diameter of Ian's eye had grown to about 35 miles. That's large enough to fit the entire extent of Hurricane Charlie's hurricane force wind field. So you can imagine the devastation just intensively a lot further reaching than Hurricane Charlie, which Hurricane Charlie would always be remembered here. But I think Ian is now taking that spot.
Well, and that's the thing, is a lot of us here who have lived here for any period of time who went through both.
Yeah. So anyway, that's we have anything else to add on there? I mean, we talked about pretty much everything that's been going on and that we went through. I mean, again, it is something that I don't want to experience again. It's like, oh, I want to experience I want to experience a major storm. Yeah, I want to. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Well, and you
like
obsessively watching the Weather Channel and like being like the weather nerd.
Yes, I am a weather nerd. Thank you very much.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm not.
Every time, okay, the whole time Ian was approaching, the whole time, I'm in bed watching this hurricane update, seeing where the track is going to go. Left and right, up and down. Oh my God, we're watching the Weather Channel again. Are we have to watch this?
When it's like a half an hour to an hour after the last time we turned it on, I'm like, it hasn't changed that much in that amount of time.
Do you realize how much it changed now? Hold on, Troy's on the phone. Let's get Troy on. What's up? Oh, apparently he hung up, so call back in, Troy, if you want. But it's like, listen, it changes. You realize how much it changed from the time it first was going to go into the armpit of Florida, then to Tampa.
Go to Tampa.
Yeah, it was always going to go to Tampa.
And then it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, guess what?
We had more warning this time, though, than Charlie.
Let's see here. Troy's calling back. What's up, man?
I didn't hang up. The call failed.
Oh, well, damn. Are you in Florida, too? Because apparently cell service sucks down here.
No, I'm in Covington, Georgia. Where I'm sitting, the cell service kind of sucks, too. So it could have been me. It could have been you.
Gotcha.
It doesn't matter. Glad to see you back on the air, my friend.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Because, I mean, I'm just catching the tail end of this show, but.
Well, actually, this is the tail end of the first hour. We've actually gone to 8 to 10 now. So.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Well, I can't stay up. Fireball's been involved, and I'm fixing to get it and go to sleep.
We know about Fireball. We understand, my friend. We understand.
Fireball.
Listen, you go ahead. You're going to sleep well tonight. Trust me. You'll be good.
Well, the thing is, I was supposed to be in the bed at 7 o'clock. It's coming on 9, and tomorrow's going to suck. But I'm getting paid overtime to be hungover. So
you get paid overtime to be hungover, man. I got to get your job. The hell you doing there? You're getting paid to be hungover. That's cool.
You don't want my job.
No, maybe I don't.
I don't even really want my job, but it's a cool job. Except for right now, I drive in Atlanta traffic all day long in an 18-wheeler. And I'm usually anywhere from 85 to 110,000 pounds, which is way overweight. But I got a permit for that.
Well, yeah, of course. You better have a permit for that.
And I can't stop. I just really can't stop.
You know, Troy, it's called brakes. It's called brakes. You hit the brakes when you need to stop. Now, granted, the weight that you're carrying may take you a little longer, so make sure you hit those brakes a little sooner.
I tell you what, Charles, empty, full of fuel, my truck with me sitting in it is 40,500 pounds.
See, if I was sitting in it, that'd be double that weight.
If I panic stop, it takes me almost 2 football fields to stop. Panic stop.
So I'm saying.
Now I can stop a little bit faster with weight on it. About a football field and a half.
Mm.
But when you're running 60 to 70 mile an hour,
yeah, it doesn't get any easier to stop.
Well, my truck will pull 110,000 pounds at 100 mile an hour.
It's not a race. It's not a race, Troy. It's you got to watch about survival there.
Let me phrase this perfectly. My truck will run 100 mile an hour. I've never tried to pull 110,000 pounds at 100 mile an hour.
Good idea.
I can pull it. I can pull it at 70 to 75 very easily, and it takes me 3 football fields to stop.
Now, if you're traveling like at midnight, 1 o'clock, and you're in like the rural roads, yeah, maybe you could try going 100 mile an hour, but I wouldn't do that in rush hour traffic in Atlanta.
I'm not allowed to tow something over 80,000 pounds until 30 minutes after daylight every day.
Okay, I got you.
I mean, that's what I do. I'm oversized. I'm always oversized. Anything I put on my truck, I'm over 80,000 pounds. And guys, if you're listening to this show, I want y'all to remember, even down in Florida, these guys are 80,000 plus pounds. Don't leave them 20 foot to stop. They'll kill you.
Yeah. Let's
you're gonna get hurt at 30 to 40 feet.
I mean, unless you have a death wish, maybe, apparently that's what they're wanting.
I've got 2 tickets this year in the last year, and both of them where I couldn't see them. I could not see them at all.
Yeah.
One of them, I was at a stoplight and she shifted in front of me, and I was in 5th gear before I realized she was there. And I've got an 18 speed.
They just see that truck as like a big F-150, and they'll be able to stop. No worries. No, no, you better speed up.
And she went, "You hit my fucking BMW." That's all she said. I didn't hurt her.
No.
Well, I was in 5th gear before I realized she was there, though.
Well, hope you got insurance there, ma'am.
Well, no, my company paid for it. I got
shit.
The ticket. I
really?
paid the ticket.
I
had to pay the ticket.
I really hate Georgia law enforcement. I really do. I got a ticket.
It ain't no different.
It is. I'll tell you. Let me tell you something, Troy. Let me tell you something, Troy. Let me tell you something. I got pulled over doing 94 in a 70 on the interstate. Okay, I admit I was speeding. Hang on. Listen, this is coming back from my Northeast vacation. So I went ahead. I got the ticket. I paid the ticket. Motherfuckers went ahead and sent me a letter. You need to pay us another $200 or we're going to suspend your license in the state of Georgia. I'm thinking, fucking suspend my license. I'll never visit that shit again.
So you got the ticket in Georgia?
Yeah, ticket was in Georgia.
Yeah.
On 75.
Super speeder. Look, man, I'm just going to be honest with you. And I'll tell everybody, including your co-host, that doesn't pay the speed.
No, it doesn't.
It makes you 0 time. And I'm explaining this. The math doesn't work. And Charles, you're a pretty smart guy from what I understand.
Somewhat.
60 miles an hour, you do 60. At 70, you do 70.
That's debatable. That's debatable if I'm smart.
Well, I mean, over 300 miles, you're saving less than 5 minutes of time.
Yeah.
Between 60 and 75, you're saving less than 5 minutes of time at 300 miles.
Yeah, but you have somebody like me who's a lead foot. I don't see that. I don't see saving 3 or 4 minutes. I see I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm passing this son of a bitch.
All right.
My wife over here is rolling her eyes because I keep telling you to slow down. I keep telling you.
Is your wife your co-host tonight?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you go 30 miles at 80 miles an hour in a 70-mile-an-hour speed zone, what are you saving?
Gas.
You're saving less than a minute.
Yeah,
the math actually bears it out. It's less than a minute.
I'm not a speeder. I mean, I'll go like 5 miles over the speed limit, maybe.
I'm not bitching about 5 or 10 miles an hour. I'm talking about 20 and 25.
Yeah, I'm talking about what I did.
But what I'm saying is that's as fast as I'm gonna go is probably 5 to 10 miles over the speed limit. It's not gonna be much more than that.
You have people walking in walkers that are passing you. That's how fast you go.
But if you get any kind of math sense, you can do 1 mile at 60 miles an hour. You do 1 mile in 60 seconds, correct?
I guess. Yeah, exactly. 1 mile a minute at 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's 88 feet per second. I've got this down to a science.
Troy, do I have to take notes here? Is it going to be a test later? I just
no, it's not going to be a test. I'm just trying to tell you.
No, listen. I agree. I'm a dumbass. I'm not going to go ahead and pull any punches. I'm a dumbass.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times.
No, you're not a dumbass. You don't have to plant your foot so hard, damn son.
No,
you don't have to plant your foot.
I can't tell you how many times he's passed somebody, and then a few minutes later, they're passing him, and I'm like, "What good did that really do?"
I passed somebody. I have to put that as a win in my column.
Well, I drive on 285 in Atlanta every day.
Yeah,
I can tell you, I have that conversation with myself every day. And I mean, I'm not saying I don't have a hammer foot. I do have a hammer foot. I'm not lead-footed. I ain't gonna be stupid. I make my living with my license.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I hear you.
I mean,
you definitely have to keep an open eye. See, the problem is I go with the flow of traffic, and then it's like, well, I can go faster than the flow of traffic because I'm that special. And then I finally look down at the speedometer. I'm hitting 90. I'm thinking, oh shit, I gotta slow down.
Well, and he's also the guy who sees a cop and hits on the brakes.
Yeah, I see. When I see a cop, I don't hit brakes.
It does you no good. They already lit you up. They already saw you. I run within 5 miles an hour of speed limit. Well, yeah,
I hear you. That's my policy.
But
5 miles an hour. If you're in Tennessee, they'll give you 7. If you're in Georgia, they'll give you 10.
But
in Florida, I ain't figured out. I ain't never stopped speeding in Florida.
I've actually passed a cop going 8 miles an hour over the speed limit. They let me. They're not pulling me over.
I would say 5 mile an hour, unless you're in a school zone or a construction zone. 5 mile an hour speed limit's comfortable. You get away with it.
Yeah.
And you probably get away with 5 mile an hour in a school zone, a speed zone.
No, actually, no. They're strict on that. When I see a flashing light on a school zone, it's usually 15 miles an hour here in this county. I'm doing 15. I'm doing 15. I'm not doing 16 or 17. I'm doing 15.
Dude, just slow your ass down.
That's what I do.
You ain't making no time. I'm telling you, the math doesn't bear it out.
All right, I get you.
The math never does bear it out. I'll tell this to Scotty. Scotty do the same damn thing. Last time I saw Scotty on the road in the what is that? He's got avalanche, the camo avalanche.
Yeah.
Tires were roaring. He rode right past me. I know he was speeding. I don't damn well he was speeding.
Of course, it's Scotty we're talking about. Come on now.
Well, I ain't saying he ain't got to live. I administer this advice to my daughters, my stepdaughters. I've got three stepdaughters.
Damn.
God help me. Yeah, and they all got we got 5 grandkids. I mean, 3 stepdaughters, 5 grandkids, and we got one of them daughters ain't had no kids yet. Yeah.
Yeah. You wait until she pops one of them out.
And my son don't have no kids yet either. So.
Damn.
But I always tell him, my mother was a police officer. But I mean, it was drilling me 5 mile an hour, 5 mile an hour, 5 mile an hour, 5 mile an hour. You can go 5 over.
Right.
And nobody will stop you. Now in the state of Georgia, if they're a state trooper, they can stop you at 1 mile an hour over.
It depends on what it depends on. It depends on the state trooper how much of a dick he wants to be.
State trooper gonna give you 15. I don't know a state trooper that won't give you 15.
Right.
But the county and the city guys only give you 11. You hit. They give you 10. You hit 11, you're getting stopped.
You're getting pulled over, right?
Yeah. Well, my mother was a city police officer.
So she's got all the inside track on that one.
Oh, dude. And she ain't been a cop since 1989, 89.
They changed any of the rules since then?
Sort of. Yeah, they don't have to have their lights on anymore to clock you.
Oh yeah, that's one big one down here.
Yeah.
They have to have some type of. That's called entrapment.
Well, up until about 5 or 6 years ago, here in the state of Georgia, they had to have their parking lights on, and you had to be visible for a quarter mile.
Yeah,
that's what the rule was.
Yeah, that's the same. That's actually the rule down here too. Is you have to be visible. You can't hide behind a tree or anything like that, and you have to have some type of actually
you have to be visible for a quarter mile
during the day, no lights, but during the nighttime there has to be like the low beams or the yellow lights.
With their parking lights on. Yeah. That's what it used to be here. And they changed that. It might have been about 10 years ago. They changed that. When they enacted the super speeder law, they cut out the lights on deal during the night.
Gotcha.
But see, like Chicago, they have to have a reference point. They have to be able to clock you, and they have to have a reference points where to clock you from. In Illinois, Illinois speeding ticket. It's hard to get a speeding ticket in Illinois. You got to be fucking rolling. Pardon my language. You got to be rolling to get a speeding ticket in Illinois.
Right. You would think you would think those people, especially in Chicago, you would think they'd be on top of it.
Well, but like he's talking probably like out in the country in Illinois.
No, ma'am.
No?
This is Chicago. This is Illinois State Trooper law. They have to have a reference point, and then they can clock you.
Because
they have to have a in other words, what I'm saying is, they need probably 200 feet to judge whether or not they think you're speeding, and they need another 200 feet to clock you at speeding in Illinois.
Damn.
It's really hard to get it.
I'm originally from Illinois.
I understand that, but I understand the laws up there too.
Yeah.
Honey, I've been driving trucks for almost 25 years. I understand those laws.
Right. Oh, I'm not saying. I was just thinking that you were talking about like the back country areas of Illinois, because that's where I'm originally from, where there's not another car for miles and miles and miles, and you're.
Yeah, she's an Illinois redneck.
But any cop in Illinois has to have a reference point where they think you're speeding before they can clock you.
Right.
So they need about, I don't know, half mile. Right about, I think they need about half mile to understand if they think you're speeding before they can clock you.
Maybe.
To be able to clock you, they need a quarter mile to think you're speeding, and a quarter mile to clock you.
So, but bottom line is, don't do anything more than 5 or 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. And that's advice I got to take on my end.
I used to run through Indiana, and out of Indiana on I-65, or out of Kentucky on I-65. When you cross over in Louisville, when you cross over in Indiana, we got what they call, the truckers call it the no-fly zone. It's 55 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's 65 until you get to that Indiana border. And those city cops would clock truckers. We'd always be doing 65 because unless you were paying attention, you have to pay attention to the sign. Just watch the sign.
Yeah.
5 miles over the sign. You can get away with, in any state, you can get away with 5 miles. Tennessee gets you 7.
There's a back way we take to go to Disney, which is, on the back end. We don't take the interstate. We take some back roads, back highways, and everything like that go through farm country. And there is one spot where it can go from 65 miles an hour, and there's 4 speed changes, and you get down to 30 for like a couple of miles. That's crazy, though.
And that city is making money hand over fist.
Oh, yeah. I got caught there a couple of times because it was 45 just a second ago. No, now it's 30, sir. Oh, really? Where? They see that sign? Uh-huh. Oh.
Well, also...
the honest thing, my son's 23 when I was teaching him how to drive. And mind you, I didn't see my son from the time he was 7 till he was 14.
Right.
My ex-wife was a fucking bitch.
Wow.
So she was bad.
Well, unfortunately, that can be the case sometimes.
I tell you what, Charles, I'll exchange phone numbers with you, and I'll tell you what happened in that 7 years.
No, I don't want anything to do with it. Believe me, I had my own drama with exes. Believe me, I don't want anything to do with it.
Me and my boy are cool now.
That's cool.
Well, I mean, we've had another 7, 8, 9. Well, it's coming on 10 years now.
That's good. That's awesome.
And we're really cool. But when I was teaching, see, I lost him when he was 7. I got him back when he was 14. And I got to teach him how to drive. Well, I'm a truck driver.
Nice.
That's what I do. I drive 18-wheelers. And at the time when I was starting to teach him how to drive, I was driving over the road.
Right.
So I just put him in the truck with me. Okay, boy, tell me where the signs are. Tell me what the signs say.
Right.
And I taught him how to read the signs before he ever put his hands on the steering wheel.
Damn.
Because if you don't read those signs, for instance, there's a little town in Tennessee called Harriman, Tennessee. It's at the intersection of Interstate 40 and US 27. You can look it up. But it says trucks stay left. I've never seen another town display a sign like that. And then what they say when they say trucks stay left, it means 18-wheelers stay to the left. Unless you're making a right turn, stay to the left.
Right.
But if you don't see that little 1.5-foot sign, you'll get a ticket in that town. And it's a $400 ticket.
There's
it
areas
wasn't
around
cheap.
here that says trucks stay right.
Yeah, most every town says trucks stay right.
Trust me, nobody knows the fucking rules down here. It's like, oh, well, I'm just going to go ahead and do 50 miles an hour in the left lane where it's supposed to be 65, and everybody's passing to the right. No. The left lane is used for passing, dude. Get your ass over to the right, and nobody gets that. And I see people flashing their lights, trying to give the people hints, and it's like they don't want to do it.
Gwinnett County, Lawrenceville, Gwinnett County, up here where we live, Scotty and I live. Gwinnett County is firm on that trucks in the right lane deal.
Right.
When it's actually, to be honest, on a 4-lane, it's a little bit safer. Unless you're having to turn right, it's a lot safer for a truck to run in the left lane.
Right.
Because you only have to worry about one lane. You just got to worry about your right. Now, I mean, I got a ticket in April for blowing a lady's tire and sending her across my front bumper. And I mean, she got hurt. But I never the only thing that touched her was the lug nuts on my steer tire. And I was really lucky to get out of that wreck. That was a bad wreck.
that's good.
That's what scared me. That scared me bad. Still scares me. I mean, my truck now has a window where I can see out my passenger's door, see if there's anything that's there, so I don't hit somebody and blow their tire and spin them across my fenders.
Right.
I didn't have a dent on my truck. I didn't have a mark on my truck.
Good. That's real good.
Yeah, well, now I got to spend $1,000 higher return to get me out of that fucking ticket too. Because I think she was either pacing me or passing me on the right, which is also illegal here in the state of Georgia. So,
telling you, I'm not
dude,
a fan of Georgia at all for driving.
I tell you what, Charles, I will send you my phone number.
Go for it.
And I mean, I see some funny fucking. I see some discouraging fucking shit. Really discouraging. People just don't understand that what I do, where I do it, it is not safe for me to do it.
Right.
And I've had two wrecks within 6 months.
Jeez, dude.
Dude, one
but not your fault though, right?
Last
Not
year,
your
and
fault.
one was in April of this year.
But not your fault, right? You keeping it clean.
One of them was straight up my fault because my dash cam didn't pick her up moving in front of me.
Right.
But I just went ahead and paid that ticket. The other one, the one I was just telling you about, where I just all it had was my lug nuts busted her the left rear tire, and spun her across my nose. And I didn't have a dent on my truck. I didn't even have a scuff mark.
Jeez.
But I crashed another car too with it. And I mean, I ain't heard nothing else from the lawsuits. I've been contacted one time by a lawyer. I said, contact these people. They got everything. I'm no longer employed with this company. That's what I said. And I mean, it was true. It was exactly true.
Right.
But I seen the baby seat spin across my nose. The baby seats. Now, thank God that the babies weren't in the seats. It was just two females in the front seat.
Yeah.
Towed their car out. I towed another Honda out. Well, I didn't do it. I contend she was trying to pass me on the right, which is also illegal in the state of Georgia, especially on the interstate.
Right.
You're not supposed to pass on the right. Always pass on the left. If you're going to pass 18-wheeler people.
No. I hear you on that one. But a lot of people
pass on the left. They can see you.
But a lot of people are dicks, though. I understand it's not lawful to pass on the right. But if people are being dicks and going slow on the left lane, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, but you don't have to be a dick. If an 18-wheeler, if an 18-wheeler is courteous enough, because they don't have to do this, and this is nationwide, they don't have to move to the middle lane to let you over.
Right.
To let you merge. It's your responsibility to merge. And merge safely.
Yeah.
Don't tap the brakes. If you're going to merge, put your foot on the gas and go. But don't try to pass one on the right. And don't ride in a blind spot. Don't ride on the trailer tires.
Right.
Because if they blow a trailer tire, it'll take your head off. And that's because I've actually, my mother worked a wreck back in 84, 85, where a trailer tire took somebody's head off.
Yeah, that's scary. When you lose a tire, it's like you have no control of losing that tire, and that can go anywhere. That's kind of like Final Destination type shit.
It fucking blows up.
I was behind a semi one time when a tire blew. Luckily, I was far enough behind that it didn't affect me any, but it was damn loud, and it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, well, Mrs. Richardson, I'm gonna tell you, if you're directly behind an 18-wheeler or a dump truck or anything that's commercial vehicle, If you're within 100 foot of them, move to the left and go around them.
Yeah. I mean,
And
I
that-
was a
I mean,
ways
that-
behind this, but I heard it.
And don't pussyfoot about going around them.
Right.
Get around them and get gone, because they don't want you back there any more than you want to be back there. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't want nobody following me. And I run. If I tell my boss I've got 2 bad tires, I'm getting 4 brand new virgin tires.
Yeah.
But it's
just
'cause of what
get
I
it taken
do,
care of.
We don't run recaps. We don't run recaps at all.
Right.
And Charles, my brother, Tyler Buchanan is my little brother. Ann's my sister-in-law.
Okay.
And the company we work for, we do not run recaps at all. For the simple reason is, if we blow a tire, it explodes. It'll blow a lot of different pieces. If you run a recap and it blows, you just usually throw the tread off, and now you put somebody in danger.
Yeah.
And that's the reason we run virgin tires.
Yeah, that's why I see some of these tires there. Basically, the tread's all blown off, and they're left right there in the interstate.
Make sure.
Uh-oh.
Charles, my wife wants to talk to you just to make sure I'm speaking to somebody in Florida. Hold on.
Okay.
That's Charles.
Hello.
Hey, yeah, we don't know who this guy is. He's been pranking us all night long, telling us stories about him driving. No, I'm kidding. No, this is Charles.
Okay,
this is Charles. I'm here in Florida.
I just wanted to know because I caught him talking to other women when I was inside the house. So you're good.
All right. By the way, I'm not wearing khakis.
You're not wearing khakis.
No.
Okay, you're good. Come help me fix this bed.
All right. He's hung up right there. We got to take a break anyway. Being caught with talking to other women. Troy, how dare you? What's up with you? All right. Anyway, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Off to grab a beer. We'll be right back after this.
I think I don't like the way your mother treats you. She knows you leave on, and there's nothing that she can say. She tells you goodbye with her hand across your face. And now you're running out that door with your clothes in a pillowcase. And now she's love on a silver screen, on the cover of a magazine. She's a picture of perfect life, just a child in a grown-up disguise. Open your eyes, baby, you're my star. Monday morning on a train out of South Station, into the bright lights with the New York City shine. Take on a brand new name, forget about who you were, and tell them you're from LA. It's all part of the game. And now she's love on a silver screen, on the cover of a magazine. She's a picture of perfect life, just a child in a grown-up disguise. Open your eyes, baby, you're my star. The static walls are coming down, and you in We are killing the future. Yeah. Smokestacks filling the air, the factories don't care, they are content with killing the future. Soldiers marching to war, killing more and more. The power hordes are destroying the future. Greedy hands that take from the hands that make. It's a shame that they are stealing the future. When people sit back and watch, like hands on a clock, pick up your clocks and take back the future now. Why now? Why now? Stand up and define the future now. Why now? Why now? Stand up and take back the future. Our leaders involved and red, they are mostly dead. They just pretend that they are saving the future. Media's a scam, promotion for their plan, showing their ads and preparing the future. Dirty pigs on a street, being the badges they peak, claiming that they are protecting the future. But if we don't give in and we look from within, we can win and take back the future now. Why now? Why now? Stand up and define the future now. Why now? Why now? Stand up and take back the future now. Why now? Why now? Stand up and define the future now. Why now? Why now? Stand up and take back the future. Stand up! Define the future! Stand up and take back the future now! Why now? Why now? Stand up and define the future now! Why now? Why now? Stand up and take back the future now! Why now? Why now? Stand up and define the future now! Why now? Why now? Stand up and take back the future now! Why now?
Yeah, yeah. When I walk on by, I smell like shit and I'm coming fly. I pimp to the beat, eat from the garbage on the streets. Yeah, this is how I roll. Paper bag pants out of control. You can find me at the glory hole. Reading through the wall for a quick free blow. Girl, look at my body. Girl, look at my body. Girl, look at my body. I ain't trash. Please give me some money. Please give me some money. Please give me some money. I ain't trash. When I walk in the spot, yeah, this is what they see. Okay, an old dirty man that drinks his own pee. Got a disaster in my pants, and I ain't scared to show it. Show it, show it, show it. I'm sexy and I'm homeless. I'm sexy and I'm homeless. When I'm at the mall, I'm in the bathroom trying to clean my balls. When I'm at the beach, I'm in the brown bag trying to tan my cheeks. This is how I roll. Got a cardboard box that I call home. I keep semen in the jar, baby, don't be jealous. No shoes, no shirt, cause I'm fucking homeless. Girl, look at my body. Girl, look at my body. Girl, look at my body. I ain't trash. Please give me some money. Please give me some money. Please give me some money. I ain't trash. When I walk in the spot, yeah, this is what they see. Okay, an old dirty man that drinks his own pee. Got a disaster in my pants, and I ain't scared to show it. Show it, show it, show it. I'm sexy and I'm homeless. sexy and I'm homeless. I'm sexy and I'm homeless.
We're back to the best show you have never heard of. That's the Charles Richardson Show.
All right, let's go ahead and I just making sure I get all the points covered on the show because I haven't done this in a while. Let's go ahead and give a shout out to Karen and David out there at Hull Culling and Contracting. They're the team to handle all your home improvements, lawn maintenance, and car repairs. And yes, hurricane cleanup. You heard me. Hurricane cleanup. Give them a call, 941-204-1264. Give them a call to help set up an estimate. They're doing work around the clock right now. So maybe getting an appointment, probably the earlier you get a hold of them, the better. But if you're affected by the hurricane down here in Southwest Florida, they will go ahead and help you go ahead and clean stuff up, repair whatever needs to be repaired, getting that screen put back on, maybe putting on a couple of shingles. Probably want to call your insurance for that one, though. But anything else, though, give them a call, 941-204-1264, 941-204-1264. There we go. Yeah, they're running rampant again. Hey, listen, where the money is, that's where it's at right now. Getting that money for that cleanup there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Falling asleep over there. I know you're tired.
No, I'm not
tired
falling
too.
asleep. I'm
tired too. It's all good. But let's go ahead and get to some memes here. Some of these are Florida-based, so if you don't get it, tough shit. This one is, look at all this weather being all springy and cute. Like it didn't just try to kill us last week.
Yeah, so the week after the hurricane, the weather was gorgeous. There was a nice breeze. It was in like the 50s 70s in the morning.
No, it was in the 60s. We thought it was 70s.
60s, 70s in the morning, 80s throughout the day.
It was nice.
It was beautiful.
That's what we're talking about, being all springy and shit.
Yeah.
This one here. This is the this is the sloth at the DMV.
From Zootopia.
From Utopia, yeah. It just says the DMV worker won Halloween because he's wearing a mask.
He's wearing the costume of the sloth from the DMV.
Here's a house completely leveled. The top floor roof is angled down, and somebody spray painted said "Got the spider."
A lot of houses got the spider this week.
A lot of them
last
got
week.
Yep. Here's somebody singing at the top. No, not yet. It's too early. Mariah Carey says, "All I want for Christmas is you."
No, you know what it is? It's
backwards.
like the scene from The Shining.
Oh.
So it's the woman at the top from The Shining, and the microphone is breaking through the door like an axe.
Yeah.
And then it's Mariah Carey singing "All I Want for
All right,
Christmas
let's pause this. We got Bad Billy on the phone. What's up, Billy?
I was just wanted to say real quick, damn glad you're back. Damn good to have you back. God bless you and your family, and I'm glad you're safe.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate the love. We appreciate all, and we appreciate the support there on AOW broadcast.
Absolutely. All right, that's all I got to say. Enjoy the rest.
All right, take care.
All right. Bye.
That's Bad Billy there. Outlaw Radio, his show. You can catch it on Raw Talk Online Radio, on TuneIn. Make sure you do that. All right, let's get back to. I know I messed up that one, but anyway, here's another meme. Here, a bus is covered in trees and vines and everything like that, and the caption is a statement the bus is making. We're going to sit here until all of you settle down, and I don't care how long it takes.
Apparently, it's taking a long time.
Apparently, it is. This one here shows a huge uprooted tree from Hurricane Ian, but it also shows, of course, Photoshop skeletons pushing the tree over. It says, "When you live in Florida and Halloween is coming." The skeletons
mean,
obviously are
there's your
pushing the tree.
decoration.
Yeah, that is a cute decoration. Here's Yoda and Baby Yoda. Son, I watched a guy do 50 push-ups. Can you do that, Dad? Dad said, sure, not to brag, but I could probably watch somebody do 100 push-ups. Here's a meme, just a plain sign. The guy at the furniture store told me the sofa would seat 5 people without any problems. It then occurred to me, I don't think I know 5 people without any problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know 5 people.
People
Trust me.
without any problems are hard to come by.
I don't know anybody without any problems. Like, we all have problems.
Yeah.
Anywho, here's a guy just not giving a shit look. I didn't care yesterday. Don't give a shit today. Probably won't give a fuck tomorrow. Here is some guy in a swamp. Well, I'm not sure if it's a guy or a girl, but all you see is 2 hands up from a puddle in a swamp. And the caption says, with 2 thumbs up, we're all good in Florida.
Yeah, well, that was kind of how it was.
Yep. According to this is a Twitter, and because Florida is all soggy and wet and floody and all that shit, it says, have we tried putting Florida in rice? Kind of like that one. Maybe that could be the case.
That's pretty funny.
Yep. And that's the end of the memes. This next one here is actually something I just posted up here. It's actually, if you're having issues or signs that you are mentally and emotionally exhausted. Let me pump this up a little bit. So, number 1, you're easily irritated. Well, I'm always easily irritated. What the hell is your point there? Number 2 is you feel completely unmotivated even to do things you normally enjoy. Now, I don't have that number 2. Do you have number 2 on that one?
No.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think we're good there. Number 3, you're having trouble sleeping. Yes. Either it takes you hours to fall asleep or your sleep is broken all through the night. Yes,
or
we have that.
All of the above.
Yeah, all the above. Number 5, you have almost no patience and you find yourself being short with colleagues and family. Yes,
yeah,
you have that. Number 6, you're experiencing indigestion. You have a low-grade stomach ache all the time or feel like there's butterflies in your stomach. Now, I haven't felt that.
I don't feel like that, but I do have indigestion issues.
Yeah, that's issues all the time.
But I don't know that has anything to do with being exhausted. I think that's just me. I probably have irritable bowels or something like that.
Number 7, you start crying unexpectedly. Well, that's you anyway.
Thanks.
You cry unexpectedly. Well, especially around your time of the month.
Well, thanks for putting that out there.
No problem. And finally, number 8, you feel detached from reality. You go through your days without really emotionally responding or connecting to anything. You feel empty. I don't feel that way.
I don't feel that
So
way.
I think half of this we have. I'll go at half. I think we got half of that.
I think half of those can also go under the category of insomnia rather than.
Yeah, but we have more than just insomnia. I mean, you have insomnia. I know that. You have that documented where you just can't fall asleep with the shit. And when you wake up, you can't go back to sleep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just you.
I have a hard time falling asleep. And then I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't go back to sleep. Sometimes I toss and turn all night. Last night I tossed and turned all night.
Yep. Now I'm over here running through my Facebook feed. And I'm over here checking some of these recipes out.
There's some pretty damn good recipes on Facebook.
And I'm telling you, it's some of the stuff is easy to make. It's delicious. And it makes the dog stop whining.
I don't think it does.
No, it doesn't make sense. We're hearing the dog whine in the bed.
I think she wants outside.
I think she wants too.
I closed the slider when I came in here, so.
Yeah, I seen that.
Because we've had mosquitoes coming in.
Yeah, the problem is one of our screens out on the porch, because we usually leave the door, the sliding glass door cracked so the dogs can go in and out without having to do that. Karen says, I have all but 7 and 8. Also, she doesn't have 5. She wants us to know. She doesn't have 5 with the patience. Listen, for your family, for what you've been through, you need to have that patience. And she also said she doesn't have, what did she say, 7 or 8? The crying and detached. Yeah, okay. So, but yeah, it's, listen, I think we're all suffering from a little bit of these issues.
Well,
especially
just being
down here in
without
Florida.
power for several days.
Yeah.
It has us all out of sorts.
Yeah, I mean, when you go ahead and go without power, then you have all this cleanup, and life is not back to normal. Okay, let's just put it that way. Life is not back to normal, and when I consider normal, may sound really stupid to you guys, but when I consider normals, I get up, I go ahead, I zombie walk into my clothes, and then I head out to McDonald's for breakfast. And when I usually do the McDonald's breakfast, I usually are in the app, and there's deals going on that I like to take advantage of, and I like to go ahead and do those deals through the app. I can't do that anymore, at least not yet. Okay? Now I'm dealing with, up until this, and we also had a boil water notice that was just lifted recently, and we also have a curfew that will be lifted on Thursday morning. We're basically everybody from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., you need to stay home. So if there was a chance of getting ice cream after the show, forget it.
Yeah.
And they've actually pulled people over for this. We saw one instance where we were at your mom's house, your mom and dad's house. They pulled somebody right over.
Right in front of their house. Right in front of mom and dad's house.
Yeah. This is a 5-ingredient Nutter Butter Balls. You know, like the peanut butter ball? Yeah, I know. It sounds weird. I'm just saying. But
yeah.
No, seriously, the chocolate balls with the peanut butter in it?
Yeah.
That stuff is good. My grandmother used to make that all the time.
Are you talking about like the oh shit, I can't think of what they're called now. No. I forget what they're called, but like it's kind of like a cookie dough ball.
No, I don't know if what you're talking about because listen, this is basically peanut butter inside a dipped chocolate, and you make it.
Oh, okay, that's not what
So
I'm thinking of.
we need Nutter Butter cookies, a big 16-ounce package, cream cheese, powdered sugar, creamy peanut butter. We can't use chunky. Chocolate melting wafers, fine candy chocolate meant for melting and dipping. Need that.
I know what those are.
Yeah. So
they're kind of almost like a chocolate chip, but they're just a round disc.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I see what you. Yeah. It's basically just solid chocolate. So yeah, we need to get some of that. We need to do that. That's easy. That's easy to do. Just go ahead and just squish all the shit together, and there you go. That's good too. Another thing that's going back to normal, school starting next Tuesday. There was they weren't sure when they were going to start school. They were kind of hoping the 17th, it was originally the 24th. I'm sorry, the 24th. That was not next Monday, but the following Monday.
Now
they've updated it to the 18th now.
Yeah,
so it's good. That's good. It's not as badly damaged, or the cleanup isn't too bad.
Well, I guess they got a bunch of extra crews in to help do the work. There was the message that
Serve Pro
came through from the superintendent was that due to the tremendous amount of work that was able to get done, they're able to open earlier than expected.
This is a news story here that kind of passed the time away because I don't think we have any good news, do we?
No, I'm sorry.
We haven't really.
I think I might have had one.
Okay.
Well,
if you can, great. If not, here's a story there in California. A 2,560-pound pumpkin wins the contest and sets a record. Apparently, there was a big pumpkin contest going on. A horticulture teacher from Minnesota set a new U.S. record Monday for the heaviest pumpkin after raising a giant 2,560-pound pumpkin. All right, we'll get to you in a second, bro.
That's a huge pumpkin.
Yeah, huge. You imagine carving that sucker? Travis Granger from Antioquia, Minnesota set the new record and won an annual pumpkin weighing contest in Northern California. Granger says Minnesota has a great mid-year, but our spring and our parts are really, really tough. So to do it in Minnesota, it just shouldn't happen. It's like when the Tour de France on a big wheel. You know, you can only hope, but it worked. He drove the gargantuan pound. He drove the fucking pumpkin 35 hours to see his hard work pay off at the 49th World Championship Pumpkin Weigh-In at Half Moon Bay, which is just south of San Francisco. You think driving in a snowstorm is bad? Try driving one of these things. Making a joke of it, but hey, listen, it paid off. I wonder what he got though. I don't think. I wonder what he did. A grower in Italy holds the world record for the heaviest pumpkin. He grew a 2,702 pound squash just last year, setting the world record for Guinness, the Guinness World Record. Yeah, wow. It doesn't say what he won. Like, okay, you had a contest, you won. What did you get? Pumpkin
there's
pie?
Some kind of cash prize.
It better be
for him to drive it that far.
You're going to go ahead and drive 35 hours to go ahead and get a ribbon? I hope not.
I'm pretty sure there was probably a cash prize.
Yeah. I mean,
involved.
Imagine how many pumpkin pies that shit would make. Gee whiz. Talk about.
Well, even like we've been watching. Earlier today we were watching the Halloween baking challenge.
Yeah.
And they do like some of the pumpkins they use are huge. I can only imagine, these prize-winning, record-setting pumpkins that are just enormous.
These are huge. I mean, this is something that's like number one is bigger than 10 of me. That's I'm 350. Yeah, well, it's 5 of me. Okay, 5. Well, let's go ahead and just break it down a notch here. 5 of me. Here we go. Broccoli and cheese stuffed chicken breast. Obviously,
that sounds disgusting.
If we remove the broccoli, I think it would probably be good. 4 boneless chicken breasts, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/8 teaspoon pepper, paprika, garlic powder, broccoli florets. Obviously, we can try to eliminate that. Maybe we put in like ham or something, or turkey, or something.
So
else.
If you're putting ham in there, then you're just making a chicken cordon bleu.
Yeah, true.
Basically.
3/4 cups of sharp shredded cheese, cheddar cheese.
Okay, so it's cheddar.
Yeah. 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I mean, it looks good. I mean, for me, I'm into broccoli. It looks good. But
I do not like broccoli.
You sound like you're about ready to throw up when I said that.
Now, our son, as he sits down at the dinner table today, where we had broccoli, chicken, and mashed potatoes, and he's like, "Yes, broccoli."
Yeah, and it was the last thing to go. The chicken actually went first. Oh yeah, it did.
And he enjoyed it. He just saved his favorite for last, I guess.
Oh yeah, I guess. Whatever you say. Save the favorite. Yeah, I'm wondering. The chicken usually is the last thing to go.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that, but anywho. Hey, listen, if we can we get this in less than 5 minutes, or are we pushing at that point?
I'm sorry, I'm yawning.
No, we got to go ahead and get you some Fox theme here. Let's go ahead and get to Alyssa's good news here. We'll go ahead and make it happen. All right, here's Alyssa bringing us some good news to end the show.
All right, this is a little bit of a continuation of a story that I think I did last year for a good news story.
All right.
Gary Sinise flew 1,750 families of fallen military heroes to Walt Disney World again. So he did this, I think it was last year, but he's doing it again.
Oh, so he's doing a whole thing with Disney World again?
Yeah.
Cool.
Gary Sinise has long since proven himself a remarkable man. Not only is he an immeasurable talented actor, but he's also a staunch supporter of our troops, often going out of his way to ensure those most in need are given help. The Hollywood star, who once played Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump, a Vietnam veteran who lost both his legs in the war, has made a name for himself when it comes to giving peace of mind to vets and the families of the fallen.
Lieutenant Dan!
He helps out where he can, which is as much as anyone can ask, and a lot more than most celebrities are willing to do. Gary Sinise Foundation is, by its own admission, was established to serve our nation by honoring our defenders, veterans, first responders, their families, and those in need, which is why it's no surprise that through the foundation, Sinise is able to help from building specialized homes for wounded vets to hosting free concerts for soldiers. His list of philanthropic acts continues to grow. Well, it turns out he's done it once again. As per reports, Sinise's foundation has once more partnered with American Airlines last year to offer an all-expenses-paid trip to Walt Disney World for family members of fallen heroes. Why am I crying? Because I'm
CEO crying about it. Yeah, that's number 7. That's number 7 right there. No, it's a good story, though. Come on.
On the Snowball Express. In 2019, before the pandemic, the families were flown to Orlando from all over America and afforded an opportunity they otherwise might not have been able to experience.
That's nice. Is that it?
No, I just
Trying to catch your
needed
breath.
a second.
Okay.
The Sinise Foundation explained on its website the holidays can be especially challenging for the grieving families. Each December, we host a 5-day experience for 1,750 plus children of the fallen and their surviving parent. Anyway,
it
is
them
good. All to Disney and I'm done.
I think that's
Sorry.
it. I think we need to save some tears for hydration purposes. So thank you very much for bringing that. That's actually great. Awesome story. Make sure you go ahead and follow us on Facebook, YouTube, even Twitter. Let's do that. Well, actually, mainly it's the Facebook show page. So go to facebook.com/The Charles Richardson Show, and you can follow us on the page there. Usually we have all of our news and columns and articles that we'll be giving out and talking about throughout the show right there. And, of course, our YouTube channel. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just go ahead and search. Same thing, Charles Richardson Show, and go ahead and give us a plug. Give us a sign up there and become a subscriber. It's free to do. All right, everybody. Hey, it's good to be back, and we'll go ahead and see you on Wednesday for our Hump Day edition right here on the Charles Richardson Show. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you Wednesday. Take care.
Fly too high, get to see the light. Yeah, it's true, been there before. But now the sun don't.